What is good, though, YouTubers? I hope everybody is doing fantastic out there. I'm so happy, so excited to actually be bringing you guys this review slash unboxing of Gears of War 5 Marcus Fenix Vintage Armor Storm Collectibles. This is a GameStop exclusive. I've actually wanted this figure for so long. It was way up there in my wish list. I actually picked him up months ago, but for one reason or another, I wasn't able to actually open him up. And I wanted to do him justice, so he's kind of been sitting in my closet looking at me all desperate, wanting to get out. It started to turn into like a Toy Story 2 storyline, and so yeah, I was just like sniffing at the cardboard packaging at one point. It got really, I'm just obsessed with the figure, to be completely honest with you guys. And so I was finally able to pick him up, and I'm so happy. I'm going to try to give him justice because I'm very excited. So let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any more time. But yeah, so I'm going to try to go through all of the accessories that this figure comes with. Hopefully I try to capture everything. So he does come with 8 hands. He's going to come with some fisted hands, some slightly gripped hands, which you can use for the Nasher, some trigger fingers, and then he's going to come one with a pointy finger. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, well, what's the pointy finger hand for? That's actually a very good question. Stay till, I think it's like mostly towards the end of the video, and you'll see. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, is that like to pick his nose or something? But no, believe me, he will actually have a really awesome pose. My son is the one that came up with it, so stay tuned. You know, it's a really cool pose for that pointy finger hand. But yeah, he does come with 8 alternate hands altogether, interchangeable hands. He comes with 3 interchangeable head sculpts. Now, he comes with the younger version of Marcus with the bandana, and then 2 of the older Marcus from Gears of War 5, one with bandana, one without. Now, me personally, I'm a little bit worried about that younger head sculpt, even though that's ultimately my favorite head sculpt. But the main reason why I'm a little bit worried about it is because I feel like maybe they're not going to move forward with this line. I would love to see, although we are seeing, I think, like Kate being released. I don't know if it's already been released or it's on its way, but that's a figure that we've already kind of seen. But I kind of wish that they would hold off on that younger head sculpt and maybe, you know, used it on a variant. I want to see a variant version of this figure, one with like maybe different colored armor. I don't know, something really cool, like to pay homage to, you know, the original fans. So that one has me a little bit worried just for that reason, that I feel like maybe they're gonna go with, oh, you know, we already gave them an old Marcus head sculpt and then a younger Marcus head sculpt, so we're not gonna give them anything else. So that's a little bit disappointing if that's the way that they're thinking about it. In terms of the actual weapons, we're looking at a custom Lancer, a Lancer MK2, snub pistol, which is magnetic. It attaches to his thigh. And then we're going to have a Nasher, a Frag Grenade, and then Dominic's knife. So, right off the bat, I'll tell you guys the thing that blew me away the most were the head sculpts, okay? I have to say, usually where these head sculpts tend to kind of fall apart are those side portions, like around his ears. You can kind of tell you know, they don't really put as much interest into molding like the ears or, you know, the bottom portions of the chin. I have to say they did a fantastic job. You can see the hair, even the detail in the comb back hair, and then you can also see, you know, the scar on his face, and then that tan, almost like translucent tan, which makes you feel like there's actual texture, there's actual skin there. I absolutely love the kind of color schemes that they used, and the molding was absolutely perfect. That right off the bat, that's my number one. You know, if you're going to take something away from this particular unboxing slash review, it's that the head sculpts are absolutely amazing. And then the weapons are just great. They have fantastic detail. Again, I don't know if I would have gone with the vintage Marcus Fenix as much as maybe picking another suit. That's just my own personal perspective. I know this is a Gears of War 5 line, so that was a little bit disappointing. I kind of wish they had gone with, you know, maybe different weapons. You know, we do get, you know, we got 2 Lancers, so maybe had they gone with like a retro Lancer or something like that, that would have been really cool. But yeah, I love the weapons. The Frag Grenade was probably my favorite one. It's just really cool. And for those of you guys that own the old school NECA Frag Grenade, it is not as stiff. It's a lot more, it is actually has somewhat of articulation at the middle point, you know, where the chain is supposed to be at. So that was really cool. In terms of articulation, I have to say this figure really surprised me. It has kind of like not a thigh swivel, it has more of like a swivel, you know, around the calf area. So it has like kind of like a calf swivel, if that's even a thing. which was pretty cool. He does have good toe articulation. His leg actually kicks up and back and forth pretty well, except for, you know, the butt molding gets in the way. I've always said the future of action figures, they have articulated butt cheeks, because for some unknown reason the butt molding always gets in the way of these figures being able to kick back or forward, and you can kind of see it when he kicks back. You can see that butt mold kind of getting in the way. But he's able to, you know, his double jointed knees do a pretty good job. His ab crunch was actually really well. It works really well when you're posing him. I actually do love his ab crunch. It's pretty good for as I mentioned, a big armored, very highly detailed figure. In terms of the head, and I'm going to show you guys another clip later that actually shows the full articulation and range of motion for the headpiece. Because I thought it was really cool how you were actually able to basically take the head off without actually removing it from the body, and kind of twist it around, get him to look down and up, and be able to get really cool pictures. The range of motion for his neck is absolutely almost limitless when it comes down to it. And I wanted to show you guys a picture of some of the other Gears of War figures that we've owned. NECA, and I believe Todd McFarlane was the one that owned the license before this, or they might still have it, but they had that version of it, and I believe they released JD and a couple of other figures. They weren't really figures, they were more like, you know, small little mini statues. And then they had, the only one that seems out of proportion were the Judgment figures, and you can see with Baird, he's a little bit smaller than the other figures. And I want to show you guys some of the comparisons between some of the NECA, you know, some of the NECA and some of the McFarlane, and then some of the Storm Collectible weapons. I thought, to be completely honest, I think they all look great. But when you actually hold them in the texture, you can actually feel that the Storm Collectibles is actually a better quality. And here is the backdrop. As I promised, this thing looks absolutely beautiful for taking pictures, or just for having up there and just looking cool, you know, in front of like one of the pop figures. But anyways, let's get straight into it. What would I give you guys in terms of a rating? Man, you know what? I'm trying to not be as biased as I possibly can, but I absolutely love this figure. It's the amount of detail in this figure is insane. The range of articulation is not as great as I would have expected from, you know, the high quality of Storm Collectibles, but it's good for, you know, a highly armored figure. I believe that the head sculpts were just, you know, 10 out of 10 when it came down to that. The amount of detail in each of the weapons, you can see the chainsaw, you know, you can see the chainsaw clearly, you can see where the magazine clip goes in. I just thought it was absolutely insane how highly detailed this figure is. And I like I mentioned, the head sculpts completely sell me. I just absolutely love that you can have those type of different variations, and then how you're able to kind of pose his head in whatever whatever pose you want it to be in. So I absolutely love it. If I would have had to give it a rating, I'm gonna give it a very solid 9, almost a 10. Again, the range of motion that is a little bit limited kind of threw me off a little bit, and the fact that they went with vintage, with vintage Marcus kind of threw me off. But I absolutely love it, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section, let me know what you guys thought of it. You know, subscribe, like. Thank you guys so much for your support. This is one of those figures that is so special to me. So, you know, thank you guys for, you know, being there for almost 9 minutes. Thank you guys so much, and I will be giving you guys a lot more content coming. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys thought of the figure. Thank you.